This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Manny, how are you doing, my man?
Doing great. How are you?
Excellent. Would you fire Mike Tomlin?
Nope. I would not fire Mike Tomlin because every single year his team is in it, regardless of whether or not he's got a good quarterback. He's always
He hasn't had a good quarterback, actually.
Right. But the point is, like, even if like the quarterbacks are absolutely terrible, right, where they're not even serviceable, he still somehow is competitive. So I think that can't be valued enough. When you've got a good coach, you got to hold on to it as long as possible.
It's the Shula shit all over again.
Yeah,
that's all
I agree.
It is. This is why I won't do it with Riley. And people want Riley to go. We're already hearing it from people like, oh, Riley is this, that. And I get it. He hasn't been on a good streak the last 10 years. Since the Big Three, he's been in a funk. But, Riley can write his own check. He can leave whenever the hell he wants. He has my full support, dude. I love Riley, and I don't want him to go anywhere because I know what happened to my Dolphins after Shula left. And it ain't pretty, bro.
Yeah, it's been 30 years of misery, pretty much.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to recover from the greatness, man. I mean, we never had it so good than with Ron Frazier, and Jim did a terrific job, but it wasn't Ron Frazier. And when
it was still elite. It hasn't been the same since he left.
But that's what I'm saying. That gradually it started to take its steps down. When you have that person, dude. You know, we didn't push Ron Frazier out. He left on his own. But what I'm saying is when you have that person, that's what I love about the Larrañaga situation. Brother, he determined, hey, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm out of here. No problem. We cannot be pushing Larrañaga out. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It was kind of rough lately, but it's not the right thing to do. And I think in Pittsburgh, man, when you have a guy like that, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. And if you do, please hire him here.
Right. Yeah. In a heartbeat, man. In a heartbeit. Have any level of consistency.
20 teams will be lined up to hire the dude.
There's no question. No question. I think you hit it on the head, man. Like when you've got a good coach and you got a good thing going, you want that to last as long as possible. The Dolphins are the perfect example of it, right? Upheaval every few years. Inconsistency since Shula left. When you've got a great, you gotta hope that it lasts forever. And Tomlin is one of the top 5 coaches in the game. Period. Like,
and appreciate, and even the moments that are rough.
Yeah.
Have patience. Stay. You know how Riley
stay the course.
Remember Riley used that line for LeBron. Like when it gets tough, you don't just look for the first door out or whatever. That line. That's exactly it, man. It gets tough. You stick with Riley right now. You got to stick with Riley right now because Riley brought it all to us. And if you're a Steelers fan, you got to stick. By the way, that franchise nails it every time with their coach. So, relax.
Right.
Relax, bro. It's 3 coaches in like the last 70 years or something stupid. I don't know what it is. It's not 70, but it's pretty close.
It
like
is
60 or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's just crazy. By the way, the boys are having some good postseason performances.
Which boys are we talking about now?
I'm talking about like
the Hurricanes. Yes.
I'm about Arroyo. I'm talking
about East West Shrine, Senior Bowl, all that stuff. They've been tearing it up because they're talented and they're good players. You know, I mean, look, they were the number 1 offense in the country, and yes, Cam Ward was a big part of that. But Elijah Arroyo, when healthy, should have been, a Mackey Award contender. And Xavier Restrepo, we told you what a great slot receiver he was. Other guys have been doing well as well. I think Tyler Barron did pretty well in the Shrine Bowl practices. So they're all doing phenomenal. And I think this is a year where potentially you get 5-6 guys drafted. That's really good for Miami. They need that.
Yeah. Yes. That is very, very important. And Arroyo is because his talent. Okay. Here's the odd example I'm going to use. Okay. Because Arroyo's better than this kid. Plus health-wise, he didn't have the track record that this kid had, yet he still got drafted by Houston. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Brevin Jordan, yeah.
And then Brevin still got injured again this year, and
Yep.
they still gave him a 1-year contract for next year, which was a super classy move by Houston. They didn't have to do that, but why did they do that? Because Brevin Jordan is supremely gifted.
Yeah.
So Arroyo is a guy that really you got to see him finally this year showcase his skills,
Yep.
but we really did not see the supreme gifts that he has on a career basis. And I think now that NFL teams are watching this, he's going to go even higher than anybody ever thought because the tight end is so important. An athletic tight end is extremely important. So Arroyo, brother, he could sneak into the back end of the first round to this early second round now.
He really could. He's got the potential to, and obviously good representatives, part of I think the Rosenhaus family there. So those guys know exactly how to market these guys and put them in good situations. And so to me, I think you're right. I think, I think you're going to have some guys that played on this 2024 team that have pretty long NFL careers. I think, you look at Xavier, that's the kind of guy that can play 10 years in the NFL.
Football players.
Yeah, just really good football players. And so that in itself, right, is going to help the program long term, because when you look at it, right now, who is or who are the best former Hurricanes in the NFL? It's not a long list.
No. We have one here with the Dolphins, and he's really old.
Yeah, and you got Greg Rousseau, right, with the Bills, that I think is kind of the next thing. But he's
good, man. He's good.
He's good.
He's actually turned into the better player between him and Phillips because he stays on the field.
Right.
Fortunately.
Right. Yeah. But the reality is that there's not a lot, and especially the playmakers, wide receiver, running backs, tight ends. I mean, David Njoku, I guess, is still kicking around at tight end, but they need some guys to help showcase, and Mario needs that for recruiting.
Yeah. How is recruiting going? Because, dude, Jason Taylor, everybody's out there on the road.
Yeah, listen, this is the time of year when they make basically all the visits to the 2026 guys, the next class, and they try to lock those guys in to come and take official visits.
Let's save it for the big cheese because let me save that one for the big cheese.
That's no problem.
Let's do that one. Coaching, what's going on? Because I know he's still trying to fill a spot, right?
Well, he hired his DB coach, the Zach Etheridge guy from Houston, who I told you, I think on Tuesday, right when it was happening, that he was a great recruiter in the SEC, did a phenomenal job when he was an assistant at Auburn. In terms of upgrading secondary recruiting, that's a priority for Miami, right? You want to start getting elite DBs. That they went out and they spent the money to get them in the portal, but now you want to get them out of the high school ranks. And I think this coach, Zach Etheridge, who they picked up, is the kind of guy who can go into Georgia, into Alabama, into the southeastern part of the country and compete for the best defensive backs and give Miami a chance to land them. And so again, that's what these assistant coaches do. They recruit, they help you recruit. Jason Taylor's done a phenomenal job in his years here, and I think that's what this guy Zach Etheridge potentially could do for them at defensive back.
Are they done with coaching changes?
I'm trying to remember who else left that was part of.
One more. That's why I asked, and I forgot what position it was, but
I think it was. Lance Guidry was coaching safeties, and then Chevis Clements, who left for Wake Forest, was your cornerbacks coach. Your linebackers coach is the new defensive coordinator who they just hired. So I guess they have two. I think they have two spots or one spot that they can still fill among the 10 coaches. But again, now everything has changed in college football, where the analysts can coach as well. So these staffs are a lot larger than it used to be, and you can rotate who you have go on the road recruiting for you. And right now they've got some of those analysts and people who are part of the staff doing recruiting for them. So though I know for sure, I think there's one more assistant spot that they've got to fill, whether it's safeties coach or another D-line coach. It just depends on what the new defensive coordinator wants to do and how he wants to fill it.
All right, don't forget, folks, at Caneswear, you can use our code BIG-O10. You will get 10% off anything in the store. And remember, if you order online over $99, you will get free shipping. Go to caneswear.com, follow them on Twitter, X, whatever, Canes_wear. And this is your Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes segment.